This lesson's on 7.2, finding cube roots. A cube root of a number is a number that when multiplied by itself and then multiply itself 2 more times equals the given number. So it's very similar to 7.1, finding roots lesson. So as mentioned before, this is our root. That tells me we need to have 3 of the same numbers to group it, and that will come out of the radicand. Let's look at example 1. So we have the cube root of 8, and so similar to our 7.1, we're going to go ahead and create the division ladder. And so from here, we're going to go ahead and put in 8 and go with a prime number again. A prime number that would go into 8. We want to start with a 2. 2 goes into 8 4 times and is for a prime number. It is not, so we would have to do another round of division. So what is a prime number that would go into 4? We have is a 2. 2 would go into 4 2 times. This 2 right here, is that a prime number? It is. So we're going to go ahead and stop right there. So we're going to go ahead and put our prime numbers inside the radicand. So we're going to start with this 2 first. So 2 times, 2 times, and again we want to use that 2 as well. And so in this case, we have a root of 3 out here. That tells me I need to have a group of 3 of the same numbers. So here's a group of 3 of the 2's, and when that comes outside of our radical symbol, then that becomes a 2. So the cube root of 8 is equal to 2. In example 2, we have the cube root of negative 27. So we need to have a base number that is going to be a negative so that we can bring that out. But before we do that, let's go ahead and create our division ladder. And from here, we're going to go ahead and use our 27 and figure out is what is a prime number that would go into 27. 3. So 3 goes into 27 9 times. And is 9 a prime number? It is not. So we're going to have to do another round of division. And so what goes into 9, a prime number? A 3. 3 goes into 9 3 times. And is this 3 a prime number? It is. So we're going to go ahead and stop right there and put our cube root together. So this is going to become cube root. And it would have to be a negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3, because we want to make sure it is a group of 3 of the same kind right there. So this will give us all of this will come out of the radical symbol, and that becomes a negative 3 as our final answer right there. Example 3, we're going to go ahead and evaluate this equation right here. This is 2 times the cube root of negative 216 minus 3. So anytime we do evaluate, we want to do order of operations. So we're going to go ahead and write our order of operations here. So we have a parentheses, which is going to be similar to all of this right here is going to be your parentheses. So let's go ahead and work on that 216 and create our division ladder for that. So 216, what is a prime number that would go into 216? We could start with a 2. 2 would go into 2 itself 1 time. 2 goes into 16 8 times. And 108 is not a prime number. So we will have to do another round of long division. And so then what's a prime number that would go into 108? We could use another round of 2. 2 goes into 10 5 times, and 2 goes into 8 4 times. Is 54 a prime number? It is not, so we're going to have to do another round of long division. And what is a prime number that would go into 54? We would have to do another round of 2. So 2 goes into 5 2 times. And again, that's going to be the math that we're going to do on the side right here. So that gives us a 4. And so 14. So 2 would go into 14 7 times. And then 27 is not a prime number. So we're going to have to do another round of long division. And we have 3 that would go into 27. 3 times 9 will give us 27. And 9 is not a prime number, so we have to do another round of long division. What would go into 9, a prime number? 3. 3 would go into 9 3 times. And then that last 3 right there is a prime number. So we can stop and start listing our numbers under the radicand. So I have as a cube root of, and we're going to start with this 2 right here. So we have this 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 3. And we're looking for groups of 3 of the same. So this is a group right here, and also this right here. So we have then multiplication on the outside, 2 times 3 should then give us 6. But remember, we have a negative right here, so we want to make sure we have a base of negative 6 in here, because if we do negative 6 times negative 6 times negative 6, that should give us a negative 216. From here, I'm going to go ahead and copy the 2 that's outside of that parentheses, and then also minus 3 that's on the outside of the parentheses. And then we go through the order of operations again. So I have as a multiplication, so we have as 2 times negative 6 gives us negative 12. And we do not have a division. We do not have an addition. I do have a subtraction. So we have as negative 12 minus 3, same sign. We're going to go ahead and add them. So that becomes negative 15. So our final answer is negative 15. In example 4, we're going to go ahead and continue to evaluate. So let's go ahead and put our order of operation. Okay, we do have a parentheses first. So that's going to be all of this right here inside, which is that cube root of negative 125. So let's go ahead and put our division ladder together for that. And we'll probably have to do a couple of rounds. So let me just go ahead and put the lines there for us. And we have 125. So a prime number that would go into 125. Start off with a 5. So 5 goes into 12 2 times. And so let's do that on the side right here. That gives us 10. And so if we subtract that, that's going to give us 25. So 5 goes into 25 5 times. And is 25 a prime number? It is not. So we're going to have to do another round. So what would go into 25, a prime number? Would be 5. 5 goes into 25 5 times. And is 5 a prime number? It is. So we can stop right there and rewrite this problem. So all of that parentheses part that we just mentioned right there, all of that would be cube root of 5 times 5 times 5. And we can bring all of the grouping of 3 on the outside. But we have to make sure that this is a negative 5 on the outside, because as mentioned right here before, this is negative right here. And so we need a base number of negative 5 here. So I'm going to keep my 3 up on the top on my exponent and plus 21. And so then from here, we have is a negative 5 to the third power, which then gives us a negative 5 times negative 5 times negative 5. And negative times negative will give us positive. But if we times positive to negative, that will give us a negative. And 5 times 5 is 25. And 25 times 5 will give us 125. And then we're going to add our 21 to that. So as far as order of operations, we don't have Oh, actually, we did deal with exponents. We had multiplication that we just did right now. We do not have a division. We do have an addition and subtraction kind of put together right there. So negative 125 plus 21 should give us negative 104 as our final answer right there.